These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. When it comes to online college, Southern New Hampshire University is so good, it's scary. Listen, the facts don't lie. SNHU has degree programs that fit your goals, online classes that fit your life, and real support at every step. And if that wasn't enough, they've got some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. This is an airtight case, you guys. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to get started. That's snhu.edu/morbid. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey weirdos, I'm Alaina.
I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid.
Hi.
Hello, we are here. And so are you.
Oh my god, I was literally just going to say, and you are too.
And you are too. There you go, we're all here together.
Oh my god.
It's, I'm tired. My littlest one is still not sleeping and,
Yeah, she's not gonna.
I think she needs a sleep study. She truly does.
She genuinely does.
She's just like not a real thing.
Hook her up to those monitors, man. Figure out what the hell is going on.
Help. But other than that, I think something really sad happened. Andre Leon Talley died.
I know. I feel like every episode lately is like, and this person died.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It just keeps being, like I woke up to that this morning and was like, are you kidding me? He was a huge, huge figure in fashion. And I'm not like a huge like fashion, like Vogue and everything. Like I like fashion. Ash is definitely more like fashion.
I love fashion.
But I definitely was a fan of Andre Leon Talley just for who he was as a person.
Yeah.
And I mean, in case you don't know who he is, he was the creative director at Vogue for a while. He rose up the ranks like crazy. He was the editor at large for a long time. He was like 6'6", I think it is, or 6'7".
Yeah, he was like tall.
He was this tall force, and he wore the best shit.
Oh yeah.
He was like fearless with fashion. He just was awesome. And he also just like had a way about him.
I was going to say, he just like emitted the best vibes.
Just, yeah, like positivity. And he just seemed like he encouraged people a lot, which is nice.
He just seemed like a very happy person and like someone you would want to be around.
It's just like a real bummer. Like, thanks a lot, 2022. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, she's being a real bitch.
Yeah, she really is.
And like nobody, maybe is she mad that nobody claimed her? Like,
I don't know. Maybe
should
that's
somebody have claimed her?
I don't know. I don't know if we want to take
is it
that
like,
road.
Like everybody claimed the last couple couple, but like then 2022 is like, I'm so unwanted. Like,
So
let
I'm just
me
gonna
be
fuck
emo
with you
about
guys,
it.
and
Yeah,
it really sucks.
I don't know, man.
But Andre Leon Talley, it's a sad death.
Rest in fashion, baby.
Yeah, for real. Because you know what? The other thing that he was a huge proponent for encouraging fashion designers to put more people of color and especially more black models on the runway. So he was instrumental in, you know, pushing that. And he also, he had a quote that I loved, and I'm not going to be able to quote it completely, but it was something about, he said, you don't have to be born aristocratic to become an aristocrat. To like carry yourself like
that.
like he was totally like, carry yourself like you're fabulous and royal. Like,
yeah,
that's all that mattered. I just love him. I
love
thought he was great. So that's a really sad loss to a huge community. So sad. But,
yeah, very sad.
But rest in peace, Andre. Thanks for what you did.
I was just trying to find
We don't have
quote.
a sitcom song for you, but
we could sing Vogue, I guess. I suggested that, but then I was like, you know, people are probably gonna stop listening if we just sing at them every time. So
yeah, we had 2 sitcom songs that we sang, and then
yeah,
we're done. Don't worry.
Yeah, we can't come after Madonna.
Yeah, we really can't.
No.
Because, you know.
Oh, now I have it like stuck in my head.
I know, I do too. I have the like that like part where, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are. It's Ash's case today, and I'm excited to hear what it is because she has been chomping at the bit to tell me this.
Yes, I have. I've been working on this for quite some time now, and then we had a couple of like delays here and there.
Some delays.
So we are going to be talking about Stacey Castor today. I don't know if you know her. She's often referred to as the Black Widow, but a lot of female murderers are, so
I was gonna
doesn't
say
necessarily narrow it down.
Yeah, it's one of those like there's like a million freeway killers.
Yeah, exactly.
They just plop that name on people.
Yeah. I feel like if you're a woman and you kill like at least 2 people, you're called a Black Widow.
You are a spider.
Yeah, or you're like what my grandpa used to call my aunt because she dated a lot of people in high school.
There you go.
Yeah,
not me though.
No, not you. I don't refer to you as my aunt.
Definitely not.
You're my sister.
You're my sister.
But so I started this off like a little bit different because, you know, I love to like try to tell it a little differently. Like I want to like kind of like stir you up a little and be like, oh my God, I haven't heard that. And then you're like, oh wait, I have heard that.
Yes.
Or maybe you haven't. So we're going to start somewhere toward the end. And we're going to start on the morning of September 14th, 2007.
Okay.
Bree Wallace walks into her sister Ashley's room and finds her laying there with her eyes wide open, non-responsive, and barely breathing. So Bree screams for her mother, Stacey, to please come and help. And Stacey immediately dials 911. Now, while she's on the phone, she's like looking around her daughter's room for any indication of what could have happened here. And that's when she notices an empty bottle of Absolute vodka and what looks like a note lying next to Ashley's head. So she tells the 911 operator what she sees before her. And she explains that she thinks Ashley drank this whole bottle of vodka and mixed it with Ambien. She said she must have taken Ambien and mixed it with it.
Okay.
And she starts reading the note. And clearly this is a suicide note. But this is not your typical suicide note because in this note, Ashley has confessed to 2 murders.
Oh.
Yes. The murder of her own father, Michael, who died when she was just 12 years old. And the murder of her stepfather, who had died about 2 years before this.
What?
So Stacey is in absolute shock, and she just keeps referencing this note on the phone, like, oh my God, this is a suicide note. Oh my God, like, this is what it says. Oh my God, like, it just keeps harping on this note. And the 911 operator is like, listen, I understand that you've got that note in front of you, but I need to know what's going on with the person in front of you so I can send the appropriate help.
Yeah. So
Stacey is just in a complete haze, but she looks around her 20-year-old daughter's room. She comments on how messy it is to the 911 operator, and she's like, you just need to get here fast because at this point, Ashley's throwing up. Wow. So she sees this note. She's like, the room is a mess, just so you know. Now she's throwing up. This is what happened. She took these pills, and she drank a whole bottle of vodka. So the 911 operator is like, okay, there is a lot going on here.
Wow.
Like, what should we focus on first? So when the first responders arrived, they quickly got Ashley into an ambulance and they sped off to SUNY Upstate Medical Hospital. Stacey and Bree made their way to the hospital as well, but when Stacey got there, she was not allowed in the room right away, and she was pissed about that because that's her daughter.
Yeah, of course.
So even though the note she had just read meant that her daughter was possibly a murderer, she was putting that aside for the moment, and she was just desperate to be by Ashley's side. By that point, Ashley was convulsing, and both Bree and Stacey heard the doctor say something about her heart beating out of control.
Oh, jeez.
So Bree stayed with Stacey in the waiting room while the doctors got Ashley into a stable condition. And the police arrived on scene quickly, not only because of the nature of this whole incident, but because this family, they'd actually been involved with the police for quite some time, like going on years at this point. Because when Ashley's stepfather, David Castor, had died, there were some unanswered questions, and they were actually focusing in on Stacey, not Ashley. But now that all this was going on, they needed to talk to Ashley because, by the sounds of it, she had just confessed to killing her stepfather.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So, when Ashley was in good enough condition for them to talk to her, they went into the room and they asked her about this quote-unquote suicide note that she had written. It was almost 750 words long.
Jeez.
Yeah, very long one. Usually they're not that long.
No.
She looks at them and she's like, "You're insane. Like, what? I didn't write a note. I didn't take any pills. Like, what is going on here?"
Oh, boy.
And 2 murders? Absolutely not. She's like, "I was 12 when my dad died and he died of a heart attack."
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And as far as she knew, her stepfather had actually committed suicide. And that was after he had lost his own father. So she's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, like, this is not adding up.
She said the last thing that she remembered before ending up in the hospital was having a drink with her mother and then realizing that she didn't feel so good and going to lay down. And she said the next thing she knew, she was being rushed to the hospital and everything was blurry from there.
Ooh.
So they wanted to know more about the drink that she had with her mother. They were very interested about that drink, which
Yeah,
at
I would
first
be.
she was like, what? Like, we had a drink together. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'd be like, some shit went down after that drink, so.
But she would quickly realize that she wasn't the only person who felt strange after drinking something that Stacey Castor had prepared. And there were 2 people before her who experienced the exact same thing.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry if you already said this. How old is the daughter?
20.
20, okay.
So Stacey Castor, Ashley's mother, let's talk a little bit about her.
Yeah.
Let's talk about her.
do that.
She had been born on July 24th, 1967 in upstate New York, so not far from us in New England.
Ooh.
Her parents were Jerry Daniels and Judy Eaton. Her mother said that growing up, she wanted to be involved with law somehow, like wanted to be a lawyer or a paralegal. She did pretty well in school, and her mom said she definitely would have been able to follow that path. But instead, during the end of her senior year, she met this guy who was a little bit older than her, and his name was Mike Wallace. So Stacey was 17 when they met, and he was 23. But she said the second she met him, she knew he was going to be the man that she would get married to. She knew it, she said 5 minutes after she met him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Magic.
It was a love at first sight kind of thing. And Stacey said her Mike was the life of the party, and he was the kind of guy who would give you the shirt off of his back. He was
Aw, Mike.
always there for her, she said. Kind of.
Oh. I was like, we all need a Mike. Who doesn't love a Mike?
Yeah, so
Uh-oh.
Mike was there for her in the beginning of things, but he was very much still living the life of a bachelor. He had actually already been married once before, strangely enough to Stacey's 3rd cousin.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, we're going down a path.
Going
now.
down a path.
Here we go.
And
I take it back.
Stacey's 3rd cousin and Mike actually had a child together. They had a son. So he already has a child. And their marriage was not a great marriage, the one to Stacey's cousin. He had actually gone to jail a couple of times, specifically for drinking and driving during that marriage. And his ex-wife Nancy said that he had been physically abusive toward her
Oh, no.
on more than one occasion.
Oh,
And
man.
you don't want this version of Mike.
No.
At all. And she said that this was the reason they ended up divorcing.
Okay.
But in a strange way, she said she always felt like he was a good guy to some degree.
Okay.
Yes. So Stacey didn't see that side of Mike when they first started dating, like the yucky side, but it slowly started to reveal itself.
As it usually does.
It wasn't physical in the beginning of the relationship, and that broke them up, because they did end up breaking up over Mike's partying and the fact that he would always pick going out and having like a wild time over staying with Stacey and like hanging out with her.
Oh, man. Oh, Mike.
So they argued a lot, and they ended up breaking up right before Stacey found out that she was pregnant with their daughter Ashley.
Yeah.
And that was something that made her and Ashley's bond even stronger because it was just the two of them together in the beginning.
You got to stick together.
They were all each other really had. And Stacey said Ashley was her whole reason for being on this earth. Taking care of Ashley was her main priority, and everything else came second.
As it should.
Of course. So a few months after having Ashley, Stacey and Mike figured things out. They got back together. And in April of 1990, they got married at Stacey's childhood home.
Okay.
Cute little wedding.
All right. So
Your home should show off who you are. Now is the time to boldly write the newest chapter in your home story. And your main character? It's Ashley. Ashley has styles that balance timeless appeal and modern trends to bring your personal look home. Yes, these are well-crafted and affordable pieces with eye-catching design, but they're also built to stand up to real life. With features like stain-resistant performance fabric, options that are incredibly durable, easy to clean, and stain-resistant with machine-washable covers. Plus, Ashley provides fast, reliable, white-glove delivery right to your room of choice, so you can style your space without any stress. Ashley was nice enough to send us a bunch of new pieces for my pod lab at my house, and when I tell you they deliver it to your room of choice, unfortunately they did have to deliver to the attic, but they could not have been nicer about it. I got, or was gifted, I should say, the Revion Lake sofa and love seat. It's in this like olive colored velvety fabric. It's so nice. I will say it is so freaking easy to clean because if you know me, you know that I have a white cat and a black cat and then a multicolored cat. The white cat loves to just roll all up on this furniture and leave his hair everywhere, but it's so easy to vacuum. I also got the Meili coffee table. So I have that, like I said, in my attic, but I'm ready to order another one for my living room because this coffee table is so beautiful. It has this like antique old money vibe to it. I absolutely love it. And then finally, I got three actually of the core stone end tables. They have little shelves in them so you can dress them up and, kind of like personalize them to your style. I highly, highly recommend all of the pieces that I got. And I just recommend Ashley in general. It was such an easy process to shop with them and the delivery, all of that from start to finish. It was awesome. Visit your local Ashley store or head to ashley.com to find your style. Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
things are, turning around.
Yeah, the puzzle pieces are starting to get put back together.
Yeah.
So everybody remembered how happy Stacey was, and even though Mike still had his partying ways about him, Stacey was kind of like the person in his life who kept him more on track.
Okay.
When
some
Stacey was
people
around, he was stable.
Yeah, some people need that like anchor person that
Right.
just makes them want to be a better person.
Right. And a lot of people said it was Stacey who not only was that person, but also wore the pants of the relationship.
I always love that, like,
I know, I hate that phrase so much.
Makes me just want to like kick someone in the teeth because
I'm
I'm like, I wear pants too. We all wear pants.
Yeah, like I wear the leggings in the relationship, but either way.
Whenever somebody says that, to like, who wears the pants in the relationship? I'm like, well, we both do most of the time.
We both put on pants
Like,
pretty much every day.
I'm almost always wearing pants. Like,
Yeah. I mean, most
so
of the
weird.
time I'm wearing pants.
Yeah, most of the time.
It's a very dumb
Sometimes
phrase.
neither of us are wearing the pants. you
Yeah,
know?
sometimes
Sometimes
pants,
we're just
you're
walking
out of
around
here.
in underwear. It happens.
That's the best. That's how you have a great marriage.
Pants, you're out of here.
Pants, goodbye. But she wore the pants. I
That's how
guess Mike
people
was
described
pantsless
it,
at all
yeah.
times. So 3 years after having Ashley together, Mike and Stacey actually had another daughter named Bree, who
Okay.
we know from the beginning.
Look at that.
Bree stole Mike's heart, and it became clear rather quickly that Bree was his favorite child. You should not necessarily pick a favorite. And if you do, you should definitely not make it known.
Don't make it clear.
Ashley said when she was older that, like, she didn't really remember it, but other people were like, oh no, it was very evident that he would, like, pick Bree out and, like, do things with her and leave Ashley to the side.
Aw.
Which is sad.
That's sad.
It is, because it's like you have 2 daughters. Like, you have an entirely different relationship with both of them.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's not favorites. It's just you have a different relationship with them. They're 2 different people.
Right, but to people on the outside, they were like, they're very different relationships in the way where you clearly favor one over the other.
That's a bummer.
But Ashley said she had fond memories with her dad, but it was like her mom was more of her best friend.
Okay.
So as the years passed, things between Stacey and Mike were not always so great. Nobody remembers him being physically abusive toward her, but the couple definitely had their fair share of fights. And most of the time it was over things like money or Mike's drug use mixed with his love for alcohol. And it also didn't help that they worked entirely opposite schedules.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
I'm sure that's
basically
hard.
the makings of a fucking disaster.
Yeah, of course.
Because by day, Stacey was working as an ambulance dispatcher, actually.
Oh, wow.
Ironically. And Mike was a mechanic by night.
Okay.
So Stacey would tell people all the time during, like, the later years of, like, the marriage that she was getting ready to divorce Mike. She wanted to leave him. She wanted to move on. But that would never happen. Because it was like there was always something that made her stay. Even though they were having such, like, intense issues, the love that she felt for him never seemed to go away.
I was gonna say, that's like, we talked about that, I think, in like a recent Listener Tales episode. People were sending us messages being like, you know, sometimes, like, I think it was one like that, there was like an affair that happened, and the person was saying, like, you know, you can't really judge, like, so you care about someone, it's hard. And it's like these kind of things, you're like, there had to have been something.
Right, because something brings you together, so it doesn't just die out. I mean, sometimes
it does, but it's like oftentimes it doesn't.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to see those really bad things for what they are.
Definitely. And as we know, Mike passed away. I said it in the beginning of the story. And even after Mike passed away, Stacey still talked about how much love she had for him. So it was about 10 years into their marriage when Mike started feeling really, really shitty. It was during the winter of 1999. And Ashley remembered that there were times where he just couldn't talk. He couldn't walk straight. He couldn't remember things.
Oh, that's really sad.
And on one occasion, she remembers him sitting up, projectile vomiting, and then just falling right back to sleep afterward. Like something was very much going on.
Yeah.
So because he did struggle with his use of alcohol, the adults in his life probably thought that his condition had something to do with that. But Mike knew that there was something going on with him. So he went to see his doctor that winter, and he told the doctor about all of his symptoms. He said he would feel drunk when he literally hadn't touched alcohol, how he couldn't walk straight no matter how hard he tried. And the doctor said, you know, this kind of sounds like an inner ear issue, because there's crystals within the inner ear that can sometimes shift to places where they shouldn't be. And when that happens, a person might feel dizzy or like they can't see straight.
Like a vertigo situation.
I was just going to say, if you've ever experienced vertigo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And a lot of times that's the cause for vertigo, is the shift of the crystals within the ear. But that was not the case for Mike Wallace, because while he was waiting on a follow-up appointment, he was still feeling terrible and experiencing the same symptoms. And on January 11th, 2000, he laid down just to relax on the couch, probably just looking for some kind of reprieve from this constant dizziness and nausea that he was feeling. But he would never get back off that couch. Ashley got home from school first that day before Bree, and when she got home, she didn't think her dad looked good. And she said that his behavior was just more confusing to her than anything else. He was making weird faces, and at one point she saw his arm jerk into the air and then fall down. And she thought it was strange, but she's also 12 years old. And
she's only 12.
She's like, maybe he was sleeping, having a weird dream. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, what do you... I wouldn't know now.
I have no idea. So she wasn't sure, and she had to go pick her sister up from school because she would go walk and get Bree from school. So while Ashley was walking to pick her sister up that day, Stacey got home in the meantime and saw that Mike was clearly in distress. And because she was an adult, when she saw his movements that Ashley just thought as strange behavior, Stacey was like, oh no, I think he's having a heart attack. Like, that's what that looks like. So she called an ambulance, but it was too late to save Mike's life. He died before they even got to the hospital, and he was just 38 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Like, so young.
Jeez.
So they didn't need to have an autopsy because it was pretty clear what had happened here. And Mike wasn't exactly the poster child for like health and wellness, so it didn't raise a lot of eyebrows that he died pretty young. Being his wife, Stacey was the beneficiary of his life insurance policy, and she got a payout of $55,000. So she used part of that money to buy a cemetery plot where she had Mike buried, and some of it to take the girls to Disney World.
Okay.
So some people in Mike's life did have questions. His sister specifically was like, I don't know, something just doesn't feel right about this.
Yeah.
But she kept kind of getting like pushed to the side.
Yeah. Which often happens.
Often happens. And one of the things that people did think was strange, some people, they said that Stacey just didn't really show much emotion about her husband of 10 years suddenly passing away.
Yeah. And there is something to that.
Of course.
You know, you can't judge. We always say it. You can't judge completely someone how they grieve. But like,
If there's no sign
there's
of emotion,
nothing. You
after
can
a
at least
10-year marriage.
it'll at least raise some eyebrows.
Right. So it raised some eyebrows, but other people thought, you know, maybe she's just trying to be strong for her kids. Like she can't break down constantly and lose herself in grief. But nobody saw Stacey grieving at all. It was just like, it wasn't just putting on a strong face. It was just kind of strange.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, like this, that's what it is. And
Like,
now we
moving
have to
on.
move on.
Yeah.
And she also did move on pretty quickly as far as some people were concerned romantically. Because people were like, okay, the end of her marriage to Mike was rocky and she'd been out of it for a long time, so she deserves to move on. But other people were like, no, that's too fast.
Yeah.
Now, Ashley and Bree were not stoked when their mom decided to move on, because for a long time it was just the three of them.
Yeah.
And they would go on like shopping trips. They had gone to Disney. There was a lot of bonding going on, and they had just lost their father. But all of that was going to change when Stacey met a man named David Castor. So Stacey met David through her boss in 2001, just 1 year after Mike passed away. And David was 10 years older than Stacey. But she was used to being with somebody older because Mike was also a little bit older. And she kind of found comfort in David. So he himself had been married before to a woman named Janice. They were high school sweethearts. They got married. They had a son. They had like a whole life together before divorcing in August of 2001. Now, after meeting the two of them, Stacey went to go work for David at his heating and cooling company that he'd owned for the past some odd years. And Janice remembered that it was pretty typical for David to hire the women that he was dating. They would work for him as like secretaries, making different appointments. She actually had worked for the company herself for a long time before their marriage ended. And David had actually asked some of those previous girlfriends to marry him as well, but they had all said no.
Oh.
When he asked Stacey, she was the one who said yes. And to Janice, it kind of seemed like Stacey was more saying yes to a life of security than marrying David for love.
Yeah.
Because not only did David have his own business, he also owned a beautiful home that Stacey and her daughters would move into. Mm-hmm. He also had a lot of nice things. He had like snowmobiles, four-wheelers. People called them his toys. They would go on like vacations. It was a nice lifestyle that she was about to marry into.
Absolutely.
So they did get married in August of 2003. But things were not hunky-dory at Kathy Hilton. Ashley and Bree really weren't into the idea of getting a new stepdad and uprooting their whole entire lives to move in with him.
No, of course not. They've been through a lot.
They've been through a lot. And David wasn't really a warm, fuzzy stepdad either. He had his own son, but his son was grown by this point.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, great. Like, 2 kids come along with this.
Like, well, that's what you're walking into, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. He told Stacey on multiple occasions that he just really didn't want a lot to do with the girls, but also at the same time wanted to be a disciplinarian in their life.
No.
Like, you cannot have it both ways.
No, you can't do that.
No, like, get out.
You cannot do it.
No.
You cannot do that. You get both or you get nothing.
Mm-hmm. But he, according to many people, was the guy who expected people to do as they were told. He was the one dealing out the orders. And Stacey said if he wanted the girls to listen to, Stacey said he wanted the girls to listen to him and not ask questions. But she was like, they're my kids. They're going to ask questions.
Yeah, of course they are. That's what kids do, man.
Of course.
So, like, of course they're not supposed to, like, question, like, basic things that you're telling them they have to do. Like, but because they're old enough that it's not like a 5-year-old being like, why do I have to brush my teeth? And
exactly.
You're like, let me explain why. It's
right.
like, but they're going to have questions. You're not, you're new.
And you're not their
new
dad.
Here.
You're not their dad.
So,
you're not my dad.
You're not my dad.
So Obviously, this led to a lot of tension in the household and a lot of arguments between not only the girls and David, but Stacey and David too.
Of course.
So one of the biggest fights happened when Stacey and David were actually trying to figure out what they should do for their second wedding anniversary. By this point into their marriage, it was not going great. I think Stacey was actually seeing somebody on the side.
Not good.
And they were
I would say that's not growing great.
Say that's actually the opposite of going great.
Yeah, I would say that's going poorly.
Yeah. So David was like, I want to go somewhere for a weekend. So we can kind of like reconnect. We can figure out what's going on here. Let's just go away together. And Stacey was like, I don't want to, because Ashley was old enough to stay home by herself. She was about 17 or 18 at that point. But Bree was only about 14 or 15. And Stacey was like, I don't really want her to be home by herself.
No, I'd be the same way.
An extended period of time.
Yeah.
So David was like, you know what? Fuck this. Like, I'm trying to figure out this marriage. I'm trying to make this work with you.
Yeah.
And I think to him also, this had happened before. She was picking her daughters over him. And that wasn't cool with him.
Yeah.
He was pissed. And according to her, he started drinking a lot that weekend. And he screamed at her to get the fuck out of his house and to take her kids with her.
Jeez.
So it was a very bad weekend.
This is not a great weekend.
He had also just lost his father. His dad died of mesothelioma. Mesothelioma. I can never say that.
It's a hard one.
Mesothelioma.
There you go.
Just a month before all of this. So he was going through a lot. And then their marriage was going through a lot. It was a really shitty time.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
Stacey
you
was-
definitely shouldn't lash out on people.
No,
when
that's
shit
not
is
what I'm
going
saying at
down.
all.
No, I know you're not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, like,
that's
not
don't
cool,
yell
man.
at people when
Exactly.
you're mad.
But Stacey was like, he's been depressed. Now we're fighting. Our marriage is on the rocks. Like, I'm just going to fucking leave him alone if that's what he wants.
Yeah.
So the weekend that he screamed at her to get the fuck out of his house, she did as she was told, and she spent most of that weekend avoiding him, she said. But she would go back, check on him every now and again, because according to her, he was in a full-blown drinking binge by that point and had, like, basically kind of sequestered himself into their bedroom. So over the weekend, she was able to get into the bedroom from time to time. Sometimes the door was locked, sometimes it wasn't. At one point, she came in and she found him passed out on the floor, she said, completely naked. So she put some underwear on him, and she actually had to call one of their friends to help get him back into bed. That friend was Mike Coleman, and he said that he and David had been friends for years, so he came over the second that Stacey called. He's like,
Yeah.
Of course I'll help you out. And he said when he got there, David was so out of it that he didn't even recognize him. Like, he didn't
boy.
know who Mike was.
Oh, boy.
So he helped Stacey get him into bed, and he left. Then on August 22nd, 2005, things took a turn for the worst. Stacey called 911, telling the operator that she wasn't even able to get into her bedroom and that her husband was locked in there. She said that she hadn't talked to him since the day before, really early in the morning, and that he screamed at her to leave him alone. And then that he had gotten a bottle of Southern Comfort and locked himself in that room. So she said she was checking in from time to time. She would lean her ear against the door, and she said he snored like a Mack truck, so she heard him. And all of a sudden, she didn't hear anything. And she was really concerned. So she calls 911. Officers get there, and they have to break the door down.
Uh-oh.
And when they break the door down, they find 48-year-old David Castor face down in a pool of his own vomit,
Ooh.
dead.
Oh.
So there was an empty bottle of antifreeze on the floor below him. And what looked like a glass of antifreeze on the table. I should say antifreeze. I don't know why I'm saying
Antifreeze.
and antifreeze in a glass next to his bedside table, next to a bottle of alcohol, and then another glass with like kind of like a sticky substance in it that maybe it was like cranberry juice or something. Like it's like an
Ooh.
old drink. It was yucky.
And just a glass of antifreeze?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. So David, they rushed him to the hospital, but he's dead. He apparently died of kidney failure from drinking antifreeze.
Wow.
And his death was ultimately ruled a suicide based on the information that Stacey gave.
Ooh, what a way.
So we're going to get into like a little bit of what happens when somebody ingests antifreeze.
Yes,
because
we will.
for somebody to use antifreeze as a means of suicide is not very common.
No.
Specifically because it is a very slow and painful death.
I was going to say, that's an agonizing death.
Agonizing, because when a person ingests antifreeze, their body starts to metabolize the chemicals, which is why it takes a while for the poisoning to take effect. And all this following information I read on Medical Today.
Medical today.
Medical today. So apparently antifreeze poisoning is about 3 stages. So in stage 1, this occurs 30 minutes to 12 hours after ingesting antifreeze. The ethylene glycol will affect the central nervous system, and it gives you kind of like similar effects to being drunk. You might have loss of coordination, slurred speech, fatigue, dizziness, headache, euphoria, I guess.
All that fun stuff.
You could get nauseous, you could throw up, you could also have a seizure and go into a coma. If it's real bad.
Great.
Stage 2
Cheer.
Stage 2
Stage
happens.
two.
Stage 2 happens about 12 to 24 hours after consumption. This is when your body starts to metabolize those chemicals, and it turns them into toxic acids, which then lowers your blood's pH, and that causes a condition called metabolic acidosis.
Oh.
And that can occur when the kidneys are unable to get rid of extra acid, so it's metabolizing in your kidneys.
Fun.
When this happens, your kidneys, your brain, your lungs, and liver will start to experience different symptoms, which can include shallow breathing, irregular heartbeat, and that's because the acids will lead to a large level of potassium in the blood, also known as hyperkalemia, which can lead to cardiac arrest. Also, changes in the blood pressure can happen, fatigue, confusion, dehydration, and again, you can also go into a coma at this point.
Wow.
And by stage 2, aggressive treatment could be very necessary.
Yeah.
Stage 3 happens 24 to 72 hours after ingesting.
The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And at this point, a buildup of calcium oxalate crystals will potentially lead to the kidneys failing, which is exactly what happened in David's case.
Man.
So his kidneys
That
failed.
is a tough death.
A very tough death.
A long and agonizing death.
Grueling.
Ooh.
And I can't imagine
horrible.
Experiencing all of that.
Yeah.
So something about David's death while they were walking around this house obviously didn't really seem like cut and dry to investigators who arrived on scene.
Nope, it doesn't to me.
They were like, we don't necessarily walk into a suicide like this every time.
No.
So one detective in particular, Dominic Spinelli, was like, there is something very wrong with this whole scenario.
Yeah, something
Why
is off.
would this guy have used antifreeze as a means to go when he literally had a gun under his bed that he used for hunting?
Okay, thank you. I was just going to ask that. I was like, was there a gun in this house? Not that I'm saying, like, no way to die is a great way to die.
Of
but it's
course.
like, to pick antifreeze over that is, woo.
It's just not. And a lot of
It
times,
just doesn't make a lot of sense.
men aren't poisoners usually.
I was also thinking that.
Like,
it
it's
doesn't go along with any of the
Right.
typical things
Exactly.
that you would find in a case
And
like
obviously
this.
there are times where like it will happen.
Of course,
But
people go against it all the time.
It's not often that they see this.
No,
And they're like,
for
there's
sure.
a gun literally like next to the antifreeze, like a little bit under
Yeah.
the bed. That's confusing. And Janice, David's ex-wife, who had been with him for about 25 years,
Wow.
was like, I don't think he would have killed himself. Like, I don't see that.
Yeah, she's just like, I do have some sense.
And especially not this way.
No.
So they obviously had to search the house and they did some forensic testing. And Dominic felt like his gut feeling was proving to be more than just a feeling, because in searching the house, they found a turkey baster in the garbage.
Oh.
The turkey baster had remnants of antifreeze
Stop.
inside of it,
Stop.
along with David's DNA.
A turkey baster?
So inside of the turkey baster and a little bit on the outside was antifreeze and traces of David's DNA. And I'm kind of picturing the one with like the black top. So then picture the
100%.
black top area that has Stacey's fingerprints on
Oh,
it.
come on. Come on.
But like, this is her house. That's her turkey baster.
Yeah, you
That's
use
why
it to
her
baste the
fingerprints
turkey.
are on it. The glass on the bedside table filled with antifreeze also showed Stacey's fingerprints.
I also just looked up the picture, and that glass of antifreeze is the most ominous, scary thing I've ever seen.
Just a glass full
Just
of
a
green
glass.
liquid that you see in your driveway if you have a leak.
It looks like an alien liquid. It's so scary.
It's so freaky.
With the
Ugh.
turkey baster. And then the fact that I mean, again, it's her house.
Right.
So both of these things, yeah. Of
course
it's
they're
in my
gonna have
house. I touch
fingerprints.
these things all the time.
Right.
It's, oof.
The weird thing about the glass is that the fingerprints were on the bottom of the glass, almost like she had held it up to somebody's mouth for them to drink.
Oh. Oh my God, this is horrific.
So the detectives were like, hey, you think that we should invite Stacey to come talk to us at the station for a minute?
Maybe.
And almost immediately, she explained to them why she thought David would have used antifreeze as a means of suicide.
Oh, I'm glad she has a logical explanation for this.
She told the detectives that the two of them had been watching 48 Hours recently, that show that we all know and love. And she said that the show they had watched featured a woman, Lynn Turner, who had killed her husband and then later her boyfriend by mixing antifreeze into green jello.
Okay.
Like, that's a case that really happened.
Okay.
Lynn even got away with it for some time.
So
but
far,
then-
this is not making her look better.
No.
To me.
No, not at all.
I'd be like, go on.
Go on.
Like, what?
And she was like, well, that's how he got inspired
Obviously.
to do this.
It's like, no, I think that's how you got inspired to do this.
Precisely. You and Detective Spinelli found it rather strange that
Okay,
Stacey just offered up that information when she herself had also lost two husbands, and one of them died by the same means as Lynn Turner's two partners.
Yeah.
And he started to wonder, did Mike Wallace have a heart attack?
Oh, boy.
Or was there more to this story?
Oh, boy.
So he asked a couple of questions about Mike while they were down there, too. And Stacey said Mike had a myriad of health issues, and it was really no surprise that he died when he did. And looking into his medical files, Detective Spinelli found the exact opposite. Mike's only health issues came at the very end of his life, just about 1 year before he died. And he thought, I wonder what would happen if we got permission to exhume Mike's body. What would we find?
Get the fuck out.
So he also, because the other reason that he wanted to do that was because Mike's body had not been autopsied.
Oh my God.
Because they thought that he just died of a heart attack.
Yeah, it was a clear cut.
Clear cut, right?
No foul play.
None. So it took about a year to get permission from the county where Mike was buried to get his body exhumed. It takes a while. And when they did, Detective Spinelli's suspicions were confirmed. Mike Wallace's kidneys were riddled with antifreeze crystals.
God.
Riddled.
What?
So if he had just had an autopsy, boom, bang, shaboom,
Boom. Wow.
foul
Wow.
play.
Wow.
What were the odds that what were the odds that both of somebody's husbands die this exact same way?
There are no odds. That's
sorry.
that's not a thing.
Not even slim to none, just no odds.
Just zero.
So not only did they find antifreeze crystals as proof of poisoning, but Mike's body also showed traces of rat poison. So he was doubly poisoned. And the detectives decided to keep that information about the rat poison close to the chest, knowing full well that they would use it against Stacey later on.
Absolutely. And just thinking about how that explains some of that bizarre behavior, the stuff that must have been going on inside of his body.
His body
is
was just slowly shutting
a
down.
nightmare to think about.
Yeah. I mean, literally every
Holy
single symptom that I explained before that I got from Medical Today,
Medical Today.
he was experiencing.
Yeah.
Like the fatigue, the drunkenness when you're not drunk,
Nausea,
the feeling
vomiting, feelings of being drunk,
cardiac arrest. He definitely did have a heart attack, but
Absolutely.
it wasn't a random heart
but
attack.
it was not a natural heart attack.
It was
that just
a
happened.
rat poison and antifreeze induced heart attack.
That is truly something.
So with that, they decided to head out and see Stacey again.
Yeah, you should probably talk to her.
Check in, ask a couple questions.
Just, we're just checking in. We just want to chat.
Yeah, and this time they were like, we want to talk about David, of course.
Yeah.
So during that interview, Stacey did not just lie about how many times she had called the house to check in on David that weekend, that he had supposedly told her to get her kids and get out of there. She said that she called every 30 to 45 minutes because she was like, I was checking in on him. I was really worried. Cell phone records and home phone records showed that she called one time.
Dude, why do people lie about this
One
shit?
time.
You know that they can figure that out.
How do you not know at this
That's
point?
one of the easiest ways they can find shit out.
Just
Like
freaking
lying
call
about
Verizon,
phone records
baby.
is the easiest thing to just be like, nope, lies.
Lie.
Come on.
Like, not only that, I could just look at your fucking phone log.
And you're not even lying about, like, I called him like 2 or 3 times and it was one time. That would even be like stupid because you're like, you called once, dude.
She said
But you're like, I called every 30 to 45 seconds, minutes.
Seconds.
You might as well.
Seriously,
But-
at that point.
Come on. Like, you can't back away from that.
No.
That's the biggest lie.
It's huge. Big lie. Huge.
So, hugest lie.
Big mistake. Huge. So not only you think that's a big mistake, huge, not only did she lie about that, she made a very interesting slip up during this little discushy scush. The detectives asked her about the glasses on the bedside table, and they were like, remind us which one you poured the cranberry juice into. And so she said, well, I poured the cranberry juice into this glass.
Oh my God. What?
What a Freudian slip, sister.
That
Well, I poured the the cranberry
That's
juice.
not a Freudian slip. That's a Jack the Ripper slip. Like,
That's a murderous slip you have there.
holy shit. Can you imagine
Sitting
being
there?
those detectives and you're just like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nope.
That was something.
Nope.
I poured the antifreeze. That's like a parody of a
That's an
investigation.
SNL skit.
That literally is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So noting that slip up, they were like, write that
Holy.
down. They were like, okay, so if you poured the cranberry juice into this glass, why are your fingerprints on this other glass with the antifreeze in it?
Because, wow.
And they were like, so they ask her that, and she starts losing it. She's like, I know what you're trying to do here. You're trying to pin this on me. Like, freaks the fuck out. Is like, your interview is over.
If the shoe fits.
And as she's walking out, they have like pictures on the table, and she sees a picture of the turkey baster, and she's like, what's that? And Detective Spinelli looked at her and goes, you concluded the interview. I can't talk to you anymore.
The sass.
Boom. Done.
The spice.
So
I love it.
She's like, that's it. I'm out of here. You're trying to frame me for murder.
Wow.
Little did she know, at that point, they had also tapped her phones and were listening into every phone conversation that she was having.
Oh man, the sloppiest.
Yeah, and they were about to visit her daughter at school. Because
This is so sad that
this
there's
part of it is really
daughters
sad.
involved. Like, this is really sad.
And I wish that this part didn't have to go down like this, because Ashley had just started college that week at Bryant and Stratton Business Institute. She had hopes of becoming an accountant someday. So the detectives show up at school on her first week, and they pull her out of class as she's literally signing into class.
And she's like, great.
And she has no idea what's going on. And they were like, listen, you need to know something. Your dad did not die of a heart attack. He was poisoned.
Have a good day at school.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
So she's in complete shock, and she tells the police, no, there's some kind of mistake. Like, absolutely not. He died of a heart attack. I basically saw it happen and didn't realize it because I was a baby.
Goodness. And it's like, you don't want to believe.
No.
You obviously, nothing is great about dying, but you don't want to believe somebody poisoned your father.
Of course not.
Oy.
So the police wrap up with her, and she calls her mom crying, and she's like, they just showed up at my school. They're telling me that daddy was poisoned. Like, no, he wasn't. Like, he couldn't have been. And Stacey had already called Ashley directly after that interview, like a couple days before.
And her phones are tapped at this point.
Her phones are tapped. They're hearing all of this. And she's saying, the police are trying to frame me. So now Ashley's calling her and being like, they're saying daddy was poisoned. Like, they are trying to frame you. Like, oh my God.
no.
Like, she's freaking out. So Stacey's like, you know what? I'm going to come and get you. And bad bitch Ashley is like, no, I have to finish my classes.
Oh my goodness.
She finished her classes that day.
Wow.
Finished her
Wow.
classes, and then Stacey picked her up from school.
Jeez.
So when she gets in the car, Stacey looks at her and she's like, we have both been going through so much, especially today. It's been such a hard day. Let's go get a few drinks. Let's cope by getting drunk.
Which it's like, okay, there's been a lot of sadness revolving alcohol in your family. Like,
Yeah.
maybe don't use that as a
Coping
coping mechanism,
mechanism.
especially with your child. Maybe figure out a loving way to cope
Why
together.
don't we watch our favorite movie?
Why don't we
and
sit down, watch
eat
your
some
favorite
mac and
movie,
cheese?
eat some ooey gooey mac and cheese.
That sounds great.
and just have a moment together.
Yeah, I'll paint your toenails.
No, let's go get drunk. Like, okay.
Not good.
That doesn't work.
And Ashley was like, oh, whoa, okay. Because she
She's
wasn't
like,
even
okay.
21 yet. At this
Yeah.
point, she's 20. So she was like, my mom is not the kind of mom that would just suggest day drinking.
Yeah.
But she also said, what kind of teenager wouldn't think that was awesome?
100%.
A parent just gave you permission to drink? Sweet. So I drank with her.
Of course you did.
Of course.
She's 20.
I would have done the exact same
Makes
thing.
100%. Like, I sense that she was like, yes, let's do that.
Right.
From the mom's point of view, it's like, no.
No.
Bad choice.
Irresponsible.
Yeah,
From the
very
child's
irresponsible.
point, you're a child.
You're a child.
Right.
You're 20 years old. Your
Right.
mom's like, let's have a couple drinks. You're probably like,
You're
great.
like, go off.
Let's
Cool.
do that.
So the first drink that Ashley had was one that Stacey poured for her into a tall glass. And then the rest of the drinks that she had, she drank directly from the bottle. I think she said that they were drinking Smirnoff watermelon flavor, which sends me back to being iced and gives me PTSD.
That makes my stomach hurt.
Have you ever been iced?
No. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I haven't been personally,
Horrific.
but yeah.
Horrific experience. So after a while, she said that she was starting to feel nauseous. And Stacey said, go lay down, take this pill, you'll sleep it off. So she gives her a pill. I'm assuming it was Ambien.
I'm still like, this is the worst parenting I've ever seen in my life.
On planet Earth. So Ashley takes the pill and she dozes off to sleep. And she wakes up the next day feeling like absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
She's like, I was like, this is what a hangover is? Like, oh my.
It's the I'm never drinking again kind of hangover.
Absolutely. So she's like, whoo. Bad bitch goes to school.
Man, that's
Dedication.
she's incredibly responsible.
Like so incredibly
That's
responsible. She goes to school, she finishes her classes. I think she must have had morning classes that day because she got home like before noon. And Stacey was there waiting for her and she was like, you know what? Last night was fun. Like, let's do that again.
Oh no.
And Ashley's like, isn't it like a little early to start drinking again? And she was like, oh my gosh, no. Like, by the time we get everything, like whatever we need to get done and start, it's going to be noon. It will be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she was like, my mom was going through a lot of stress. She was going through a lot of stress. And this is her mom. Like, she trusts her mom. So what's the big deal?
Yeah, this is by no means like the child's fault.
No. So Stacey runs to the liquor store and she comes back with some vodka, telling Ashley, I'm going to mix up some screwdrivers. Have you ever had a screwdriver? And Ashley's like, no, I haven't. And she's like, okay, I'm going to mix these up. You run down to the laundry and run down to the basement and switch the laundry. And Ashley's like, cool, sounds good. Like, make me my drink. I'll help you out too. So Ashley comes back upstairs and the drinks are mixed. And her mom hands her a glass with the vodka and orange juice mixture. But as Ashley looks down at the glass, she sees these little floating specks in her drink. And she's like, ew, mom, like there's shit in my glass. And she's like, oh, no, that's just the spice I mixed in.
Oh yeah, the screwdriver spice.
Have you, okay, I was like, do people put spice in a screwdriver?
I'm not a big drinker and I never really have been. I've had screwdrivers in my life.
Same.
I have never, ever heard of spice being put in a screwdriver.
I don't even know what
Maybe
spice
I'm wrong,
you would put
but
in
I
there.
don't think that is a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, tweet me if you put spice in your screwdriver.
Yeah,
I'm interested to know.
Because like I don't even know what would go with that. It's orange juice and like it's a...
Like nutmeg? I feel like that'd be gross.
But even that would be weird.
Like
as
cinnamon?
hell.
I feel like
no,
yucky.
nothing
like,
works.
Right? That's how I
Nothing
feel. Because in my head, I was like, okay, so what goes with orange?
But I think she was playing off of, have you ever had a screwdriver
Yes.
before? No, I've never had one. Oh, this is how you make it.
This is the
You just don't
spice.
know. You're 20.
Right.
You've never had one. You just told me you haven't had one.
Exactly.
This is how you make it.
Exactly.
Easy.
Yep.
Like easy to... this is getting more and more horrific as it goes because I'm just like, this is your child.
This is your whole ass baby.
This is your whole ass
This
child.
is your firstborn child who you said was like your entire world.
Yeah, this is like really, really horrific.
Yeah. So she is like, okay, I guess there's spice in a screwdriver. Yeah.
How are you
Ashley
to know?
takes a sip and she's like, ugh. She's like, this is disgusting. Like, I don't want to drink this. And her mom is like, Ash, it's a screwdriver. And she puts a straw in the glass. And she says, put this straw to the back of your throat and you won't taste it. You won't taste the screwdriver and we can still have fun.
This is horrible.
She's like, this is a party trick I learned when I was younger.
Are you kidding me, Stacey?
No, she's not kidding you.
Holy shit.
So Ashley does as she's told. She's like, okay, like my mom's teaching me party tricks on drinking. Like, cool. I would have thought the same thing.
But, like we're going with it.
We're going through a lot right now. She's vibing, I guess.
Yeah.
So Ashley sucks the drink down. But this day was much different than the day before. She had one drink and started to feel exactly how she felt the day before after like 3 or 4 to 5 drinks.
Yeah.
So she's like, I have to go lay down. But this time, a lot longer than the day before. So that night, her boyfriend kept calling her phone, her cell phone, and he thought that he had left his wallet in her room, but she wasn't answering. So he drives over to the house and he parks outside and he calls one last time, gonna be like, hey, like, I'm outside, is my wallet there?
Yeah.
And this time, Stacey answers Ashley's cell phone. And she says, Ashley's sleeping, want to call me back on the home phone? Which is hilarious because that is tapped and Ashley's cell phone is not.
That's amazing.
It's just like a great...
What a great twist of fate.
Really. So he's like, okay. So he calls the house and he's like, hey, I think my wallet is inside Ashley's room. Would you mind checking for me? Because she said Ashley was asleep. So she's like, yeah, sure. Hang on a sec. And then she comes back to the phone a minute later and she's like, I just checked. It's not there. And he was like, okay, thanks. But he later was like, no light ever went on in Ashley's room. Like, I was looking right up at the room.
Standing right outside.
I was standing right there. And I could hear that she had people over. She had people over this night.
So she has, what I assume, poisoned her child.
Probably.
And had people over while her child lay dying in her room.
Yes.
What a fucking demon.
Demon.
Holy shit.
Yup.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was not like crazy for her to have people over. I mean, in this situation, it's actually fucking crazy. It was not unlike her to have people over because after David died, Stacey had people in and out of that house all the time. The neighbors not only remembered that, but they said pretty soon after David was gone, Stacey was doing all kinds of projects outside the house, inside the house. She was changing the entire look of the place. And technically, she had the right to because David had left everything in his will to her.
Yeah, normally that wouldn't be like so weird if none of this other stuff was happening.
Well, and it wouldn't be so weird that he left everything in his will to her if he didn't have a grown-up son and grandchildren.
Oh, I forgot he had a grown son.
He has a grown son and 2 grandchildren. And some people were like, no, he would have left like at least something to his child.
I totally forgot he had a grown son. Thank you
Right.
for reminding me.
So they were like, what is going on?
Yeah,
And
that
she
doesn't make
also
sense.
has a full-blown boyfriend at this point who's the same guy that she was seeing while she was still married to David.
Cool.
And people were like, he was in and out of that house all the time.
Jesus.
So now this is the point in the story where we rewind all the way to the beginning. The morning of September 14th, when Bree finds her sister barely conscious in her room and rushes to the hospital. So Ashley wakes up. She's told that she took a bunch of pills. She drank a whole bunch of vodka. She left a suicide note. And she's like, no. Something about this situation is totally off. And the
Yeah, she was
detectives,
like, I did not write that.
the detectives look at the note that she wrote, that Ashley wrote. And the hair on the back of their neck stands up. Because at 4 different points in this letter, the word antifreeze is used. Not antifreeze. In case you don't remember, during her interview, Stacey referred to the word as antifreeze. In their minds, they thought she was just stopping short, realizing she had made a mistake.
Holy shit.
She
thought
thinks
it
it's
was
called
antifreeze. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yup.
So she's...
And they have this written
Wow.
in their notes. They wrote down literally like
Wow.
antifreeze.
Wow.
So at this point, still in the hospital, Stacey Castor is arrested on suspicion of murder for David Wallace and the attempted murder of her firstborn child and daughter, Ashley Wallace.
Who she was going to pin everything on after murdering her.
She was
Holy
trying to say
shit.
that a 12-year-old girl poisoned her own father, and then a 17 or 18-year-old girl murdered her stepfather in the same manner.
And then killed herself with antifreeze.
Killed herself
with antifreeze. Excuse
No,
me.
no. So there wasn't antifreeze in Ashley's. She had dosed everything with pills.
Oh, it was pills.
And that's what the white specks were.
That makes
That's what the
sense.
specks were in her glass. She had
put
a bunch
in
of
there.
pills because remember in the beginning she had said she took a bunch of pills.
Yep.
And she, I believe it was.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl. or boy or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. Okay, let's be honest. I feel like when we were all like really first starting our periods, we all had that moment where we bled through our jeans or something like that, and it always happened at school or at a sleepover somewhere really embarrassing. Periods always come with enough surprises, right? So nobody wants a pad that stinks. And honestly, women have been expected to just deal with that for way too long. That's why Kotex is changing the game with a completely redesigned lineup of pads and liners like Kotex BioCare. Kotex BioCare is the first and only pad with the pH proactive system that helps optimize the pad's pH. And the pad helps combat odor and irritants from period blood. Listen, we take care of our faces with 12-step routines, but we're just going to ignore our downstairs mix-up? Absolutely not. Kotex BioCare gets it, and I love that. Check out Kotex.com for more details on the new launch of Kotex BioCare, available in regular, heavy, overnight, and daily liners. Every flow covered. Now available at retailers nationwide.
And she said
So
that
it
she
was
had
all
taken.
in her system.
Everything was in her system.
Wow.
Yup.
That is shocking.
So, yeah, she gets arrested, and throughout the lead up to her trial, and even during and after, she maintained that she was innocent, and it was Ashley who must have committed these murders.
God.
She had left the note. It was her.
Oh my God, what an evil son of a bitch.
Police investigated that note and found out that Stacey's prints were the only fingerprints on the note.
Of course they were.
And it had been written on the computer 3 different times. There were 2 rough drafts and then a final version, all written at times when Ashley was verified at school.
Oh my God.
Had signed in to classes.
Her own mother. She's sitting in class and her own mother is writing a suicide note knowing she's going to murder her and frame her for murder.
A
for double murder.
750 word suicide note framing her child for murder
confession.
and just saying like, I did it for you, mommy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to link a book that I read in the show notes. It's called Mommy Deadliest, and it was written by Michael Benson. And you can read basically the entire note.
Wow.
And it is so chilling. And there's
man.
no punctuation in the entire note.
Oh, so it's just like
It's
chaotic.
like hard to read.
Oof.
And a lot of things are spelled wrong, including antifreeze.
Antifreeze.
Yes. But even after the police investigated, found out that her prints are all over it, realized that she's written this while Ashley is at school, there were still people who believed Stacey.
Whomst?
They could not believe that this woman had gone through so much. And one of those people was her mother, Judy. Judy said, they were blaming Stacey for this. I kind of went hysterical. I cannot believe Stacey has it in her to kill 2 men, especially men she's supposed to love. I do not believe Stacey did it. She would not frame Ashley.
What?
So Judy believed that her granddaughter had killed her father when she was 12 years old and then killed her stepfather too. And she said to support this, Ashley had always been jealous of the relationship that her father had with Bree, and she knew that she wasn't the favorite, so she had all this built-up resentment and jealousy over the years. And she also said Bree and Ashley hated David. He didn't like them. They had like a super tumultuous relationship. They'd fight all the time.
That does not mean that she killed them with antifreeze.
No.
No.
Or antifreeze.
Or
even.
antifreeze.
Judy was not the only person who believed that Ashley was guilty of it. There were like people in the neighborhood who said she had a dark side to her personality, and she even had a temper.
Oh, she had a temper. Oh, well, lock her up.
I don't really know how they looked past all the physical evidence.
Yeah,
that
come
was
on. And the fact that
Stacey.
note was literally written when she was verified at school.
Written, verified at school. Fingerprints are all over it. Her ex-husband's, or excuse me, like old husband, it wasn't even her ex-husband, his body was exhumed and showed traces of rat poison and antifreeze crystals.
Like, come on.
Unreal.
And
This
she
woman.
basically, that, to me, it is so damning that she said anti-free.
So
And
damning.
then wrote it in the note. That is
Four
so damning.
different times.
That is a very clear pattern of speech that she has, that she thought that's how you said it.
That's
Come on.
linguistics, baby.
It is.
So Stacey Castor was indicted on, nope, not June at all, December. I don't know how I just looked at
On June.
the word December and
That's
said
on
June.
some June.
Nope. December. She was
Same
indicted
thing.
December 20th, 2007. She faced 3 charges. 1 count of second-degree murder, 1 count of second-degree attempted murder, and a plot to present a forged will.
Yes.
It turned out that David's son, David Jr., had actually sued her in the past, knowing full well that there was no way his father would have left every last thing to Stacey. Stacey had done, like, things that his father never would have done. She sold the business, which was a family business, for, like, since its creation, for $200,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was changing the house completely.
This stuff should tell you that something was going awry.
Absolutely. But 2 of Stacey's friends had come forward and said that they were witnesses to the change of the will, and they said they saw both David and Stacey sign it the day after they got married.
Oh.
The new will. Yeah. Both parties signed affidavits in the original suit. But then when they realized what could happen, what charges could
If
be
they
brought
lie.
against them, had they lied on an affidavit, they withdrew their statements.
Oh. Yeah, you didn't know how that worked?
Yeah.
You can't lie?
Yep.
There?
So Lynn Pulaski, I believe is how you say it, and her husband Paul, they said they signed the will after David had already died, thinking that they were just doing Stacey a favor.
Yeah.
Lynn said, "I figured that if I could help make things go smoother for her, then why not? I never in my wildest imagination thought it would turn out to be what it was."
Wow.
And because they cooperated with the rest of the investigation, they didn't face any charges.
For
But they
lying,
lied on an
actually.
affidavit.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
And you just want to be like, do you have an explanation for that? Like, why you lied?
Yeah,
Why did you change your story?
I just thought I would make things go smoother
Yeah,
for her.
just wanted to make it smooth.
Cool. So during the trial, which took place in January of 2009, Ashley testified against her mother, recalling the whole lead up of events to her near-death experience. She looked right at Stacey and told her, "I never knew what hate was until now. As horrible as it makes me feel, this is goodbye, Mom. As hard as you tried, I survived."
Oh, that just gave me full chills.
I know, I actually have like actual goosebumps right now. And just to
that
look at
first
your
part
mom,
being like, as hard as this is to say goodbye,
and as hard as you tried to
I
kill me.
survived, like, to your mother.
Like, that's what that means. As hard as you tried to kill me, I survived.
Because it's like, I would never question something my mom handed me to drink. And it's like, and of course she wasn't.
Of course.
And it's like, you just think, holy shit, to think that she betrayed her trust that way and literally tried to kill her.
Yeah.
And then, like, had people over while she knew her child was dying.
Yeah.
Or hoped she was.
And not only
My
like
God.
tried to kill her daughter, but tried to kill her daughter and make it seem like her daughter
She
was
was
a
a
murderer.
a
times
double
2.
murderer.
Yeah, exactly.
like, completely tarnish her life.
forever.
Wow.
So the prosecutors were able to use the evidence, not only like all the evidence against her with the note and the computer and everything, but they also were able to bring in the evidence that they found during the exhumation of Mike Wallace's body.
Oh, I was waiting for that.
They also had the evidence of that turkey baster with her fingerprints all over it.
Yeah, they do.
And David's DNA inside of the turkey baster alongside antifreeze.
Yeah, which, hello.
Hi. So they painted a picture for the jury telling them that Stacey Castor had most likely used that turkey baster to pour more antifreeze down her already dying husband's throat. They explained that Stacey's fingerprints found on the bottom of the glass, which had antifreeze inside, that reasoning for them being on the bottom of the glass was because she probably held it up to her husband's mouth,
And
pouring
tilted it
even
in.
more antifreeze down his throat.
Oh my God.
Yup.
This is so vicious.
And then they presented the computer evidence. It showed that the suicide notes had been written 2 days before Stacey drugged and killed her daughter.
Wow. So she knew she was going to do this for a while.
Yeah, so clearly, like, the first set of drinks that they had were also spiked with drugs. It just wasn't
that's why
enough.
she felt like shit.
So the next time she must have put a
She must have
crazy
really
amount in there.
And it just, to me, seems like that whole, like, have you ever had a screwdriver? No. She was like, well, I can really fuck with this one because she's never had it before. She doesn't know if it's, like, shitty or not.
Right. And this is something that, like, of course I'm going to have to make in a glass and hand to her. Why would she question that?
Yeah, I got to mix it.
Right. Like, she'll question me pouring a Smirnoff Ice into a glass, but she won't.
But
if
I'm
it's
making
like a
drink.
cocktail.
It's a mixed drink. And it's got color in it, so it's going to hide that any powder.
The white residue. And then if she does see the fucking residue,
I
I can tell her
put
I
spice in
spiced it, not spiked it.
Oh my God.
So the jury, they deliberated for 4 days, actually.
Wow.
And when they came back, they found Stacey Castor guilty on all charges.
Yeah,
She was
same.
sentenced to... Same.
Me too.
She was sentenced to 54 years in prison. And the judge, Joseph Fahey, told her, quote, "In my 34 years in the criminal justice system as a lawyer and a judge, I've seen serial killers, contract killers, killers of every variety and stripe. But I have to say, Mrs. Castor, you are in a class all by yourself."
Yes, so that is a perfect way to describe it, because she's not even, you couldn't even call her a Black Widow.
No.
She tried to murder her own child and then blame the Black Widowness on her child.
Right. Yeah, so the judge was like, you're
in another
truly
galaxy.
something, ma'am.
Yeah.
And with that, she was sent to Bedford Hills Correctional Facility for Women in New York to serve her time.
Bye.
But that's not the end of the story.
If you tell me that she's out walking around right now, I will leave this room.
Okay, I promise I won't tell you that.
Okay.
So during Stacey's trial, word started to spread about another man in her life who had passed away somewhat unexpectedly. Her father, Jerry Daniels. So in February of 2002, he was in the hospital being treated for like a lung-related issue. But by all means, he was doing well. And on February 25th, his doctor said he would be probably ready to head home the next day. He was about to be released. So his family, who was there to hear the news, including Stacey, were so happy to hear that he was going to be okay.
Of course.
So Stacey came back the next day to pick her dad up. And while they were waiting to be discharged, she brought him in a soda. Witnesses there that day remembered that that can of soda was already open when she handed it to her dad.
Stop it.
Jerry Daniels, who by all means was pretty much recovered, died the next day.
I cannot.
Yeah, and his death was attributed to natural causes.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, and Stacey was the executor of his will, of course.
Wow.
So she quickly arranged for him to be cremated and also inherited all of his money. Casual.
Look at that. And the cremation.
Yeah, cremation. But he was buried on the same plot that Stacey had Michael Wallace and David Castor buried.
What?
So they're like all in the same area.
Is she doing like a potential murder garden?
That's actually, her brother-in-law literally called it, quote unquote, Stacey's monument to murder.
That's what it is. That's wild.
Very much what it is. He said, "You've got Mike on the far right, David on the far left." And I said, "What's she doing? Starting a collection up there?"
Oh, that's awful.
So the good thing is that David Castor's son, David Jr., he was actually able to move his father's remains from that plot in 2016.
Oh, good.
And he had Stacey's name taken off the grave marker.
Good.
So it doesn't say like loving wife.
Can you imagine having to see that?
No, and especially knowing what he knows.
Yeah.
So the DA was looking into the death of Jerry Daniels, but because he's cremated, like there's really no way of finding out what happened.
That took care of that.
Right. And Stacey was never convicted of Michael Wallace's murder because on June 11th, 2016, at 48 years old, she died in prison.
Oh.
Died, ironically, of a heart attack.
Stop it.
Like, somewhat poetic
I
justice.
was just going to say that's a little poetic.
It's a little poetic.
Wow, that's young, too.
Yeah, 48. And it's the same age that David was when he died.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that.
Yep. Mike was 38. David was 48.
Wow.
And she never talked to her daughters ever again. After Ashley testified against her, she never saw her mother again, and neither did Bree.
Oh, those poor girls.
Yeah. Ashley, basically, like, looking back on it, said, "I hate my mother for ruining so many people's lives. What gave her the right to play God with people? I never knew what hate was until now. And even though I do hate her, I still love her at the same time. She was my best friend too. She was. And then she took all of that away. I would have done anything for her, but she decided she wanted to kill me instead.
Ooh.
To say that about your mom, like,
Yeah.
she wanted to kill me. I would have done anything for her, but she wanted to kill me.
To try to reconcile that is beyond.
No, it's
beyond imagination.
so sad.
Man.
So that is the story of Stacey Castor.
Jeez.
The quote-unquote Black Widow, but I feel like that does not even
No.
do it
It
anything,
really doesn't.
you know?
And, you know, I just feel so bad for all the kids involved and all the family members. Like, all these men had kids outside of her, too.
And
It's
families,
just really sad.
And just, like, I can't imagine... I mean, Ashley and Bree lost their mom in every respect of the word.
The betrayal.
Like, lost her from betrayal, lost her because she died, lost her because she tried to kill Ashley.
I can't.
It's unreal.
It really is. Woo. Well,
Yeah.
well, thank you for that.
You're welcome. And we hope that you keep listening.
And we hope you
Keep
it
weird. But not so that you kill both of your husbands and potentially your father, and then you kill your daughter, or excuse me, try to kill your daughter, and then you pin everything on her. But guess what? She survived. She will always survive because you can't kill your daughter. That's absolutely terrible. And you're going to die in prison. So don't keep it that weird.
Bye.
Bye.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains F-gartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by argenx.
Looking to scale your outcomes beyond search and social? Realize is Taboola's AI-powered performance platform, driving incremental growth by engaging high-intent users across a global network of 600 million daily active users on premium websites. Reach and convert your audience on premium websites and placements where your customers actually spend their time. For more information and to create your account today, go to realize.com/podcast.